I don't usually branch out and play other games. Most of the time, I stick to playing GD, Roblox experiences, Clone Hero, and a select few other games. I'm aware that there are some great popular games out there that I still, to this day, have not played. It's just my lack of motivation and time to get around to them. And also my memory lacking ass keeps forgetting. People have told me about Undertale, Apex Legends, Marvel Rivals, A Dance of Fire and Ice, and a whole lot more. As much as I would love to get around playing all of those, one, I got college homework assignments and other projects in games I'm already playing, and two, this phenomenon where you refuse to play a newly released or very popular game simply because of its notoriety or trending period is a real thing. You can look it up. Despite what I just told you, I do show interest in new games I haven't seen yet, though it's limited to the more underground side of things, if that makes sense. Every now and then, I hop on a very reliable website to discover and play new games, called itch.io. Not only are a bunch of games free, they're underrated gems that nobody talks about that often, at least to my knowledge, which makes me like them even more. It's strange. But yeah, one of these games, however, that I played slipped through the cracks of my brain, and it has remained in my mind ever since I finished it back in August. This game, made in 2016, is known as Lonely Wolf Treat by Nom Nom Nami. Now, if you, the person watching this, knows about this game by some non-deterministic chance, then you already know the context and where I'm coming from for this. Otherwise, if you're an avid viewer of me and have never heard of this game before, given the gameplay footage, you would have probably called me a furry and called it quits for this video. I'm not, by the way. Well, hear me out. This game has legitimately changed my perspective on a lot of things, and it executes its theme really well. The simplistic design is charming, and the dialogue has made me go through many genuine emotions and feelings, from sadness to laughter to empathy. The characters are well developed, and we see more of their personality as the narrative progresses. I'm aware that a lot of people who know me well will be surprised, because this isn't normally a type of game they know me for. I'm known for brutal ass towers with no mercy, and performing multiple tight timings in a cube game. But here, we got a story-based game made in RPG Maker with anthropomorphic furry characters. Okay, this is going to be hard to explain. Okay, let me summarize the game and go over its story without spoiling too much of it, just in case you feel like playing it yourself. Also, there might be some accidental misinformation, so I apologize if I get anything wrong. In 2016, Nom Nom Nami released Lonely Wolf Treat as a standalone game that had only one chapter. These are the same people who make Bad End Theater, by the way, as you can see with the similar art styles. As the game received more attention, more chapters of the story were made, ultimately reaching 8 chapters, in which the developer created Lonely Wolf Treat, the complete collection. You could see their styles of design evolving as you progress through the chapters. The series introduces a few major characters towards the first half. For starters, we have the star of the whole franchise, Treat. She's a gray wolf who is quiet and doesn't interact with others very often, although she tries to be caring and helpful whenever she can. Unfortunately, she's mistreated by the nearby town of Frosting, which is mostly inhabited by rabbits. Being a wolf, the rabbits shoo her away so they can feel safe out of fear they'll become prey, despite Treat never laying a finger on them at all. Another major character is Mochi. She's a pink rabbit who formerly lived in the town of Frosting with her cousin Manju. Mochi was the first ever rabbit, or maybe even person, to treat. That sounds confusing. What other word? Cater. Yeah, catered. She was the first rabbit to cater towards Treat and be friends with. She makes a killer curry that Treat instantly falls in love with, and now they visit each other a lot. Unfortunately, with the traditional beliefs that all wolves are bad, Manju starts getting more pissed at Mochi for hanging out with one. Despite Mochi defending herself and Treat, Manju is as stubborn as a mule, and this continuous denial causes Mochi to move out and be roommates with Treat. Treat gets a lot more open as the story progresses, and she gets to know more about Mochi. Oh, and just a little note, each chapter has a different main protagonist. So chapter 1 is focused on Treat, chapter 2 is about Mochi, and chapter 3 is about the next main character, Moxie, possibly my favorite of the trio. Moxie is a very energetic, boastful blue fox who has a tendency of bluntly speaking her mind out loud. She also just has a tendency to speak in third person whenever she gets confident or determined, which is funny. All in all, these 3 characters are the main attraction, and throughout the game, they go through many really thoughtful and deep conversations about things that actual human beings struggle with in real life, which includes dealing with social anxiety and how to be open to others more. I forgot to mention, they're in a polyamorous relationship. Don't stare at me like that! Many of the side and minor characters play a smaller role in constructing the scene. There's actually a 4th important character that comes along, named Trick, but she doesn't actually play much of a role as of right now, besides all of Chapter 4 and 8 being based off her. She's basically an old friend of Tree, I'm pretty sure, that comes to visit at some point. I would mention a lot more details about the lore and all that, but I'm already yabbering too much, so I'll be moving on. Upon release, there were a plethora of gameplay videos on YouTube, and despite the low amount of viewership on each video, there was an insanely high amount of positive reception. People loved the masterclass storytelling and the cozy, relaxing soundtrack. Players adored the variety of endings and options the game had to offer. I myself enjoyed my time playing through the entire collection, though I only got one ending since I wasn't going to sacrifice the time I have for other video projects and schoolwork for ending hunting. Sorry. There's not much else to say about the game itself. Everything about it is great. If I had to give one form of criticism, it would be the amount of traveling to get to important places and objectives. I know this is more of a personal nitpick, and I know that defeats the purpose of an RPG visual novel, but figuring out where the objectives are was a bit of a hassle. Nothing major though. That is all I have to say, really. You may be asking now, why would I even make this video in the first place? Do I heavily relate to this game that much? Am I just advertising because I was told by the developers to? Maybe this could even be how I come out to everybody. Okay, no, all 3 of those are not true. It's literally only because this game has been stuck in my mind ever since I played through the whole saga 6 months ago. Keep in mind that I played this game in August and I wrote the script of this video in October. And then I came back to it this month, and I still have it stuck in my mind. It's such an unorthodox game to be talking about on this channel, and I thought it would be really funny to just provide commentary regarding its existence. Very few video games or YouTube series have me invested into the story to this degree, and I have to respect the developers for crafting such a great experience. Before I go on for the next month lipping about this game, I will make my leave now. Do check it out though if you have a few hours of spare time. I highly recommend it. Link is in the description. With all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys later.